Hey guys, Bman here. Welcome to today's video. Today we've got an awesome one for you guys. What we have today is how you can save melee weapons with the new camo swap. Then we've got a brand new camo swap method for you guys that is only needs one mode, so you do not need to own access to be able to get access Black Ops 6, Zombies, Private Match, or any of those modes to be able to camo swap. You can camo swap in absolutely any mode that you have access to, and you can save the blueprints. Now, I made a video on this already today. This is volume 2 for today, the second upload today, to get more information on this glitch, because I noticed that some people had trouble saving melees, using melees that they had camo swapped over in Zombies, and the fact that we were only able to save one at a time, and so on. So this video, I am going to cover some of that, so hopefully the people that had trouble with the last video will no longer be having trouble after watching this video here. So you guys know the deal. Get down there if you haven't already. Smash that like button for me. Subscribe if you're not already. We'll have a quick word about today's sponsor, and then we'll just get straight into this, guys. If you want to unlock Dark Matter, Abyss, and Nebula camos in Black Ops 6, or grind them extremely quickly in bot lobbies, be sure to check out MitchCactus. They're the biggest and most reliable in Call of Duty, which will help you with weekly events and rare bundle codes for Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. Browse their 1,500 verified Trustpilot reviews and thousands of personalized vouchers. They're the go for all your things Call of Duty. Use code Bman for 5% off, and thanks MitchCactus for sponsoring today's video. Okay, let's get into this, guys. So for this one, you want to have a class. You want to be in your private match class. For this, it's just better. You can do it online, but for this, we're going to show you the method in private match. Warzone, private match. So you come across, find a class that you're going to do this from. You equipped the overkill wildcard. Make sure that gunfighter wildcard is not equipped. You go along, and for this, I recommend using the XM4 for ease of access. Go along and have an XM4. You need to have one blueprint with nothing on it, no attachments on it or anything. Doesn't need to have anything. It can just be the base like this. And then you're going to need to duplicate this 2 times. Also, you need to have another one that has over 5 attachments, so that when you equip this, it gives you the option to undo. So what I mean is, first you need to have the base one with no attachments. You want to go along and duplicate that. And then you want to duplicate the duplicate, so that you've got a duplicate of the duplicate. That is the one that you want to equip into your class to start this. Make sure that you have overkill, not gunfighter wildcard equipped. Come into your class, and when you equip this, as you see here, it will give you the option to undo. So when you say undo, it removes that gun out of your class and it puts back in what was in there before you equipped it. So that is what's going to make this work. So be set up like this to start the glitch. Then we come along and we need to equip this. Then we need to quickly, while the undo option stays on the screen, come back in, delete this one and delete this one, the 2 duplicates, and then we need to select undo before it comes off our screen. You've got a brief time to do it. You need to be really quick, and that is what we need to do. So we're going to go along and do that right now. So I equip this, I come back in, I delete this one, and I delete this one, and then we say undo. Now, if you're fast enough and you say undo, it will undo it and it will equip that one that you actually deleted. If you're not fast enough, it won't equip it, and you'll still have this one when you back out to the screen right here. I was fast enough, so I have the one that we deleted in our class. If this is here, then you go along and you equipped an optic onto it. Then you've broken the account. Now, you'll notice that that does not save that with that broken optic on it. The account's broken. Now we can go along and we can select any gun with a camo on it that we want to put onto another gun. We just say duplicate, so we bring up the option and say duplicate. Then we go to any weapon of our choice and we can say create new on that gun. So we'll come along to this, say this, and say create new. It will put that camo and all of those attachments and stuff onto that gun. Now we can go along and we can set up this class. So we can go through to here, we can go along and say create new on this and set up this thing here. We can go along and we can set up our melee weapons. So we could go and get a Modern Warfare camo from a melee weapon for our melee weapon. get a Modern Warfare camo, and we could go along and set the melee weapon up. But the melee weapon, you can only do one melee weapon per time, and you have to do that in a certain way. So we'll do the melee weapon later on. We can go along and we can set up our other guns. So you could go along to here and put a camo onto this gun, so it's got a melee another camo on it, and so on, right? So I won't go too far, but you can fill up your whole classes. I'm just showing you what you can do, right? So we've got this gun here that we've done, we've got this gun here that we've done, and we've got this one. So you can do your whole classes. You don't just have to do one at a time. Now, what we do before we leave all of this, once we do, what we want to do is the final thing that we set up is the melee weapon that we want to save. So we'll come along, and for the melee weapon, we're going to put diamond onto it. So I'll come across to our weapon that has diamond on it. We'll say duplicate on that, and then we'll go across to our melee weapon and we'll create our melee weapon. So we come to our skateboard and we say create new. Now we've got the melee weapon there. Now this melee weapon will not save when we come back in. We have to do more steps to get this to save yet. So at this point, we're just setting up all the guns into our class, and then the final weapon we set up is the melee weapon. After all of this, and we've got it all set up, the last step is that we put the melee weapon into our class. We back out of this mode, all the way out of Warzone, to this screen right here. Now what we do is we go back in. We're not finished yet for making the melee save. We come back in. Now that we're back in, we find that melee that we were just put into our class right here, and this has not saved yet. What we need to do to get that to save is we need to go again to the gun that has the camo we pulled off for that melee weapon. We need to say duplicate on that 2 times to start pulling the camo off that again. And then we need to go back to that melee weapon and put it there with the camo a second time. This time when we say create new, and now what we do is we just do that one weapon there and then we back out. This time, when we back out, it is going to save that melee weapon automatically for us. So now we have that melee weapon saved with that camo on it, and now we can go back in and we can finish saving the other weapons that are also there. But keep in mind, you have to do it in a certain way that I show you here. So we come in and we will see that our melee weapon is now been saved. It is here saved with the camo on it. Now to make that not disappear, if we save another weapon, it would make this disappear. So to make sure that we don't lose that, we say duplicate to that, and then we just rename this one to D whatever, you know, and that one will not get lost, and we'll never lose this one here. This one here is going to get replaced and lost when we save the next gun that we've got in these loadouts here. As you see, all the other guns that we put into here remain here. Now we've just saved this weapon here and we've duplicated it and called it D. When we save the next one, it's going to remove this, but we will remain with this. So now we can come across to here and we can just edit this. So all we do is edit this by simply just making a change. Then what that does is that comes along and it will save that like that. Now we can go along and we can delete this old one because we've got this one, and now we can go along and duplicate that so that we've got a duplicate of it. We rename this to whatever, and this is the one that we keep and we will never lose. This is the one that's going to get deleted when we save the next weapon that we've got here. Now we come across back to this one, and this one, the original has gone, but the one that we duplicated and renamed, we've kept forever. We now have that camo swapped. You're able to go through and camo swap up all your guns and everything, and just make sure you duplicate them and rename that duplicate after you've camo saved it, and you won't lose it. So simple as, easy as, we can go through to this one, make a change, come out, and we have this one here. And then we come back to our other one and the one that we didn't duplicate is gone, but the one that we duplicated and renamed is there. So now we've got that saved, we've got the SMG saved with the camo on it, and we've got the melee weapon saved with the camo on it and everything. And if we didn't want to lose this one, again, we'll just say duplicate, etc, etc, and just rinse and repeat until you've done all the weapons in your classes. Now, we've got the skateboard. We've just duped this over, and people are running into an issue where when they try and use these over in zombies, they're getting a big exclamation mark and they're having trouble actually using it over in zombies, guys. Now, with that, I'll show you what I'm talking about for the people that don't get that, because it's actually not a very common thing that happens. So when you come over into zombies and you have your guns over in zombies, as you see for me, we just made this right here, and I do not get that problem. So I can just equip the gun into my zombies class and use the gun in my zombies class without any issues. Now, a lot of people are saying that they're getting this. I have this on a previous build from a long time ago, and I don't actually know why that's got that on that, and I think that's what people are talking about. I had that happen once when I was making a build, and then when I just made another build, it got rid of that exclamation mark. So my best tip for that exclamation mark is, if that happens for you, just try again and maybe pull the camo from a different weapon, because maybe something's going on there that I don't encounter, so I can't really come up with a solution for you for that. But you should not really run into any troubles running and using locked camos and stuff like that in zombies mode and onto your melee weapons, the camos and all of that stuff. You should not be running into any issues using those camos and stuff in game, guys. It's simple as, easy as. So, I hope this video has cleared up any issues that anybody had previously from today's video, and with that said, you guys know the deal. Get down there, smash that like button for me, subscribe if you're not already, leave me an awesome comment, and remember, shout out Liam Esso over in Discord as well, because if it wasn't for his input, you guys wouldn't have this either. So smash that comment down there, say W Liam Esso, and of course, keep being awesome, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bman